with the offseason moves all but finished, except for waiving players to get under the roster limit. Although I've seen some rumors about Jay Crowder possibly getting traded for a 2-for-1. That's what I've heard, but I'm not going to throw our name in there. What do you think our team's biggest weaknesses heading into the season? So what are you most worried about going into the season, Eric?
Well, I think, I got to be honest. My biggest issue, or not really issue, my biggest concern is really my biggest concern the way last year ended. I think we got better from a player and personnel standpoint, but the 3-point shooting around your best players to me is still the biggest probably concern. But I've said before, that's a premium. Shooting is a premium. It's hard to find. I mean, everyone's looking for it at all times.
Yep.
So, getting guys to shoot at a high clip from three, I think we have some guys that are capable of doing it. But coming into the season, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a strength. I hope it ends up being one, but I don't think going into the season that's necessarily the strength. That would be my biggest concern right now.
Maybe Matisse Thybulle went to Teja Dash shooting school this summer. He becomes a 38% 3-point shooter. Maybe, right?
You haven't heard my comments yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I mean, guys can always step it up because they're going to have the opportunities playing with the top players that we have, or top 2 or 3 or 4 players that can all go get theirs and create and score. Yep. So the opportunities for other guys, and even those guys to get clean looks, are going to be there in a higher volume, a high amount of attempts. Now, how consistent we are at knocking them down will help us, moving forward. I think that'll be a big deal for us because it will it will give other teams a tough predicament on how to defend us. So I would imagine most teams are going to pack it in and make us prove it. So at least if I'm coaching against us, that's how I'm approaching it. Until, you're proving it's sort of like the football analogy with Patrick Mahomes, where all the teams are now saying, oh, you're just going to have to run the ball and throw the ball short. I kind of see that's how teams are going to approach us, especially early on. So the more guys we can have shooting at a high clip, the better.
Teja, where are you going with this?
So I think we tackled toughness and rebounding this offseason. I think I'd like pretty much what he said, just differently. I think we need a playable wing shooter who can also defend a bit. I think we lost that in not having Danny Green around. I know we have Tucker, who's great at corner threes and he can defend, but I have a feeling Tucker's going to be played down low and small ball 5 and playing 4s. Consistent wing defense and a guy who can shoot. I think we do need that. I think every team needs that, right? Like you said, they're at a premium. So basically a bench 3 and D winger. I would say, you said the magic word, Marcus. If Thybulle can hit over like 38%, I think that's good enough for me to have that. I'm not asking for top 10 in the league.
But analytics says 33% is good.
Yeah, let's aim for the stars, Eric, and then let's hit the roof.
Hey, 33% is 50% from 2.
Yeah.
I just want, how about just improvement? I want an improvement from Thybulle. Give me a percentage or 1 or 2 percentage points, Thybulle uptick, and I think that'd be good. If I was going to look for like a player to add for what I want, I would say like Justin Holiday would be a check mark for me. A decent defender, pretty good clip at catch and shoots. That would be the kind of guy I would say we would need to add, and that'd be a great bench piece. But I don't think there's anything else we really need right now. If we were going to add a cheap version of that, yeah, Holiday, but down the line, maybe scoring issues off the bench. But I think Melton can take another step up in his development and where he's going. And then we have Harrell now, who's a good bench scorer in short spurts. So I don't really think that is a problem right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you say bench scoring, that's where I kind of think that's going to have to be adjusted by Doc. And the reason I say
the lineups, you mean?
Yes, is splitting up the minutes between your top 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree with that.
I think you got to find a way to showcase, Maxey, Tobias, showcase them a little more when James and especially Joel's out the game.
Staggering those lineups is going to be huge.
And having maybe keeping at least 2 on the court at the same time, you can accomplish that. But I just think that some of that scoring that we're saying should be bench scoring is really going to have to come from those 4 kind of spreading the wealth. If Maxey's going to be the guy that we all say he can be, then you got to find ways to kind of get that out of him. And I think that's a way for that to happen. Tobias, Teja, you keep saying he needs to do more. Well, some of him doing more is the opportunities. That's some of it is that. So that's why I wasn't really on the scoring thing as much, because I just feel like that has to come from a game planning standpoint. The Holiday thing would be great. I just think the more you add a guy like that, the more you pulling from someone that's already there. I don't think it's a compliment for what we have. It's like, okay, well, Holiday's here. Well, now who's not going to play? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we already have a log jam problem.
Yeah. So it's almost like now, like we could try to go in right now and we could probably pull the top 9 and then have a 10th as far as the rotation. We could all probably figure that out on our own. How it plays out, that's the tough part.
Yeah.
Ultimately, are they going to start PJ and Tobias together? We don't know. Are they going to play Daniel House and Thybulle? We don't know.
Yeah. I think that first sub off the bench is splitting up Harden and Maxey as well.
Yeah, it got to be Melton. I mean, Melton has to be the one because you have to split up Maxey and Harden's minutes.
Yeah.
Which means you got to have one of them on the court at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You can play a whole game, you play a full game, and one of them are out there. And that's the way you do it. And that's Milton helps balance that.
Yeah.
You're pretty much going with a 3-guard lineup as far as minutes. That's 96 minutes between 3 guys. Maxey could probably, especially early on, probably play the most minutes. And then early on in the season, you'll bring a 4th player in that rotation probably to get, 5 to 10 minutes to push their minutes down some more.
Yep.
And that's how, maybe there'll be some games where they'll get overextended, and the schedule will allow that to me. If you feel like you got a day off or days off, you can probably stretch them a little more. If not, you can pull them back. But, I just think we got to be playing 10 guys early in the season. Who that 4th guard, because Thybulle's going to play, House is going to play, PJ's going to play, Tobias, and the 2 bigs. Those guys are going to play. Melton's going to play. Who's going to be that 4th guard?
Yeah, that 10th man that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll come down
to it may be a rotating player.
It's tough. Yeah. Shake, Ferk. Niang at 4. I mean, we want shooting. So that's tough. Yeah, I mean that's.
We forgot about Niang too. I mean, he gives us something that you need. So Niang may very well push players down, meaning like push Tobias or PJ down to 3, and Daniel House to a 2-3, and that pushes. You know what I'm saying? That pushes everybody. because you're already locked in your 5 position. So now everybody's pretty much fighting for those. Thybulle's a guy that can guard 2s. So even though he's not really a scoring guard, if he can, you are typically what you can defend. So
it'll be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of.
You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a Niang that pushes everybody down more so than a 4th guard.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to have either Maxey or Harden on the floor most times, then Melton splitting them up. And then, it's a great training camp battle. A lot of battles that go on. I mean, that's tough, that 10th man minutes. That's really good. I mean, yeah, even Isaiah, if you're looking for shooting, even Isaiah Joe. I mean, if you're talking about a guy who can just light it up on the scoreboard.
He gave himself, to me, he did enough this summer to at least get a chance to compete.
Absolutely.
So,
hey, one good thing about being deep is don't run your guys ragged. If Harden's got tired legs, rest. I mean,
yeah, I just think that you can't play more than 10. I mean, unless you got guys that aren't playing 30 minutes a game, which in order to win, I believe we're going to have to.
Yeah.
Doc's going to have fun splitting up lineups, too. That'll be fun staggering those to see which ones work, which ones don't, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a night and day, or depth, night and day from what it was last year, which is this is an amazing problem to have. The problem, what we're talking about right now, the 10th guy. So it's good.
Yeah. Some teams are worried about their 6th or 7th guy. We're worried about our 10th guy. It's not even worried about who's going to do it. I mean, it's a competition. Like we actually have a competition for that 10th man minutes, which is definitely a good problem to have.
100%.